Good morning, everybody, and thanks for choosing Fox 10 News on this Saturday morning. I'm Steve Alexander in for Asha Staples. Well, it's late summertime in Mobile. What would that be without tropical problems somewhere down there, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Looking good this morning, but it's not going to stay that way over the next few days. We are going to have some tropical troubles due to this system right here. Now, the 3D imagery looks fairly impressive, but when we actually look at it with the regular old satellite from the 2D perspective, we can see that there are some issues that Tropical Depression 19 is dealing with right now. The center of it's passing across South Florida right now. You can see all the storminess is sort of displaced to the south of it, so it's not very well organized here this morning, but it's emerging into the Gulf here this morning. When it does that, water temperatures out here, just checked them, 88 degrees. The wind shear is low. In other words, perfect conditions for development. So this will become Tropical Storm Sally likely with the next couple of updates to the National Hurricane Center. And then it's going to work its way across the Gulf, yes, towards us. Let's check out that tropical track. You can see it's going to come in sometime late Tuesday, early on Wednesday. And you can see the spread on the cone could be anywhere from southeast Louisiana to about the Alabama-Florida line. And that puts us one way or the other on the right side of the system. And it's going to be a very slow moving system. Winds that they forecast right now is at 70 miles per hour. Folks, the conditions out here, once again, are perfect for development. We very well could be looking at a hurricane. That is a real possibility with this system. One way or the other, it would become Sally here in the next couple of days. So Tropical Depression 19 will become Sally. It'll create big waves and rough surf. That's for certain. The other issue, though, this one might be the calling card of this storm. It's going to be very slow moving. There is going to be an absolute ton of rain. Wait until I show you some of the models here during the show this morning. I'll show them to you, and they're impressive in a bad way. Back to what we're dealing with right now, pretty calm, just like Steve was saying, looking good here to start the day. So enjoy your Saturday. Your Saturday's not going to be too bad. There will be some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon, 40 to 50% chance of seeing those, so there will be some around. But today won't be a washout. The coming days, though, will be. I'll break all that down for you, like I said, show you the modeling when it comes to these rainfall amounts, possibilities, all that coming up in a few minutes.
Well, as Matt mentioned, one area, of course, we always have to keep an eye on when something is churning up in the Gulf. Dolphin Island. The barrier island is known to see its fair share of flooding. Not long after cleaning up Hurricane Laura's mess, Dolphin Island Mayor Jeff Collier says they're ready to go at it again if they have to. The threat of another tropical system moving into the Gulf keeps Dolphin Island's leaders on high alert. And as always expected on the barrier island, both storms triggered coastal flooding. That caused thousands of dollars in damage as sand and debris pushed up onto roads.
Continue to be vigilant. We ask our citizens and our visitors to go along with their regular lives and just, be mindful of what might be coming and take the necessary precautions in advance.
Hoping to dodge a tropical storm or hurricane, the mayor says you can still enjoy Dolphin Island on a rainy day, which we'll probably see plenty of in the next few days. Bayou Sarah and Saraland is always a threat to flood if it takes on too much water, and if this storm turns out to be that slow mover, as Matt mentioned, the water could rise quickly into the low-lying areas around there. Now, those who live by and nearby will tell you it can get pretty bad like earlier this year. And even though the cause of springtime flooding is different than a tropical threat, the potential for flooding is already there and always there. For now, the waters are calm, and so are local people.
A lot of people ride, just make this little loop to come down and look at the water, see where it's at, and then just make the loop keep going. It always pays to watch it, not to get caught off guard.
It's an unspoken policy in that Saraland area. They live there by the water, better safe than sorry. Now, last month, storms in the United States cost this country's economy billions of dollars. That's according to the insurance company Aon. The firm released its Global Catastrophe Recap report. The report evaluates the impact of the natural disasters worldwide. It found Hurricane Laura alone led to at least $10 billion in economic losses. Laura, of course, made landfall in Louisiana on August 27th. It killed more than 30 people, so much damage too. Another hurricane, Isaias, estimated to cost the economy $5 billion. Isaias hit North Carolina and caused damage across that coast, too. And 19 years ago today, another tragedy uniting the nation. Presidential candidates took a break from the campaign trail to honor the lives lost during the September 11th terrorist attacks. And they also shared stories of tremendous acts of heroism. Reporter Daryl Forges says more.
Somber sounds. Bells chime.
Stephen George Adams.
And names read to commemorate every life lost during the September 11th attacks. 19 years ago, terrorists toppled the Twin Towers, burned a hole in the Pentagon, and scarred a rural Pennsylvania hillside. The attacks and aftermath took the lives of nearly 3,000 people.
While we cannot erase your pain, we can help to shoulder your burden.
In Shanksville, Pennsylvania, the President and First Lady honored the heroes of United Flight 93.
When terrorists raced to destroy the seat of our democracy, the 40 of Flight 93 did the most American of things. They took a vote, and then they acted. Together, they charged the cockpit. They confronted the pure evil, and in their last act on this earth, they saved our capital.
In Lower Manhattan, Vice President Mike Pence and former Vice President Joe Biden, both in masks, greeted each other and their families with an elbow bump. The rare in-person political crossover, a sign of the times as the nation deals with a different kind of crisis, COVID-19. But briefly, the presidential campaign paused as the candidates and the nation remember a day we must never forget.
Solemn day, put all of our advertising down, and get back to the campaign tomorrow.
At the White House, I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
And the Pentagon held a special 9/11 ceremony, and the names of 3 local people were called out.
Marsha D. Ratchford, Naheeman Lyons IV,
Tamara C. Thurman.
Very moving moments. Petty Officer Marsha Ratchford was from Pritchard, and she was one of the people killed that day. She worked for the Navy and the Pentagon as an information technician. She left behind a husband and 3 children. Ratchford was only 34 years old when she was killed. Now, 2 other people from our area were killed as well. Naheeman Lyons from Mobile and Tamara Thurman, who is from Bruton. Now, here in Mobile yesterday, the original Oyster House restaurants honored Mobile and Baldwin County law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, and sheriff's officers. They offered a free lunch at their Causeway and Gulf Shores locations. The 13th annual Never Forget Lunch was established by the original Oyster House restaurants. It was established in honor of the 9/11 first responders who risked their lives, but also to recognize all first responders for their service.
I still remember the day just like most people do from when this all happened. So it's real nice of them to let us come and eat and donate this time, spend time, fellowship with everybody around.
And also in memory of the victims of 9/11, officials with Life South Community Blood Centers were on hand for blood donations. Right now, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is attending the intra-Afghan negotiations. Pompeo said the talks between the Afghan government representatives and the Taliban will be contentious, but he hopes that the 2 sides can reach an agreement that reflects a country that is not at war. The secretary said it will be up to the Afghans to figure out how to move forward and to make a better life for all Afghan people. Meantime, here in Mobile, the countdown underway right now to an historic kickoff. Today is a big day for the University of South Alabama, to say the least. The school is going to debut at new football stadium. But there are some changes because of COVID. Hancock Whitney Stadium was built for 25,000 fans, but because of COVID, it's only going to have about 6,000 in place. Deputy Athletic Director Daniel McCarthy says to keep fans safe, masks will be mandatory and social distancing will be required.
The most important thing, I think, is, folks, if you're not feeling well, don't come. You know, we want you here, but if you're not feeling well, don't come to the game. There's plenty of ways to consume the game online or on TV.
Kickoff against Tulane from New Orleans set for 6:30 tonight. Of course, Fox 10 News will cover it all, and we will have a wrap-up after the historic game.